sunshine, gonna be here in no time now. Bad times, gray skies, push them all away, turn them upside down. You're gonna break new ground, turn everything around. You're gonna live your life. There's a beautiful day headed your way. Keep your head up, up, up. You'll be okay. Beautiful day waiting for you. Just open your eyes, you'll see it's true. A beautiful day.
Well, welcome back to the Booga Box live stream. It's Thursday, so we're on to Large Project Thursday. Hope everybody's having a good day today. Double checking all my stuff tonight because Facebook decided to change up again. I went to start setting up, and I'm always glad that I try to get set up about a half an hour beforehand because I just never know what's going to happen. Which does remind me, if you follow us on Facebook and not on YouTube and Twitch, go ahead and add us into your YouTube and Twitch channels. Follow us there, because honestly, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to take Facebook. It's been driving me nuts. Everything keeps changing. You can't put up some of your stuff. I've had some items getting blocked that have nothing related to do with why they say they're getting blocked. So I don't know how much longer Facebook and me will be together. So if you want to find us over on Twitch and YouTube, follow us there, looking for some other things that we might be able to get attached to. So we're going to be working on the Chiefs inlay tonight. I have gotten nothing done since last Thursday. I had a whole weekend planned of working on it. Things did not work out well. I'll start by saying I did find out when I'm done, this is going to be about 19 to 20 inches wide. Let me grab my picture here. It's going to be about 19 to 20 inches, proper way, wide, and almost, if not 4 feet tall. That's about what I figured out. Overall, it's going to take me about 74-ish hours. I figured it out finally. My halfway point, I was at 36.5-ish hours. To get to the halfway point, we're past the halfway point. We're at line 113 right now. So I'm expecting it to take about 72, 74 hours, right in there, depending. That's best guesstimates that, I try to figure out. That's what happened this weekend. If you weren't here last night, when I went Friday, I decided Friday I was going to work on the video that I had already had done. And so I pulled the video over into my program and tried to start messing with it, and my program kept crashing on me. I don't know what the problem was at first. It took a while of figuring out. And it all come down to just the files that OBS had created for me, which were in MKV form. And I use MKV for several things, but I've never used them in my video program to do my videos with the band stuff and all that. It's normally everything comes out without any issues, but MKVs were not imported properly, kept crashing the program. And so I was testing, and it seemed to work better if I was just doing one video at a time, but I had several videos, and each video was getting muted and time-lapse down and all that, and the program just did not like it. So I had to take all my video, since I did my computer reboot back in August. Everything since then had been recorded in MKVs, and so I had to go through all those videos. I had 98 videos since then, all at least an hour long, if not longer. Well, I guess there was some that weren't quite an hour long, but all my streams were an hour long or more. And I had to reconvert them over to MP4, and an hour video there was taking about 50 minutes to convert. So basically all day Friday and all day Saturday was converting videos, and I couldn't do any new recordings while I was converting. So I didn't want to work on it. I worked on a few other things instead, but it definitely put me behind the 8 ball on getting this further along where I'd want it to be, which kind of sucks. But I mean, it is what it is. It's like, I think if January was just crazy, if you've seen any of my January streams, it's nothing super bad. It was just more irritants, little things here and there. But I'll tell you what, boy, those things can add up after a while. I was so ready for January to be over, and February isn't getting any better. Just all the little nuisance stuff that's just adding up, just going crazy. But it is what it is, like everything else. Try to do what we can do, so. And so hopefully this weekend I can actually get some more done on this, since all the videos have been converted now. And it's just a matter of getting in here and getting it done. Which I was hoping to get a few lines in done earlier today, but I'd gotten so behind on everything else that I was doing. Even the house stuff got kind of put behind, so I needed to get the kitchen done, I needed to get laundry done, just all the normal household stuff, so kind of took away from getting this today. Let's see here, I need 25 red. I have to do some counting here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 25, right? 22, 24, 25. So, there we are. If I did say it at the beginning of the stream, if you weren't here, I'm not sure if I've got anybody here or not yet, but everything's looking good, I guess. Once this is done, it's going to take overall time, should be about 72, 74 hours. It's going to be about 20 inches wide by about 48 inches long. Using 20,000 plus rings. And so Jelly, when I see the colors you weave in, but the cost of material for colors, then running out trying to match the batches. And weave my stainless. How goes the night? Good to see you, John. Going pretty good. Going pretty good. That's why when I normally do a bigger inlay project like this, I do have to plan it out, because I try to get all my material at once, so it's all coming from the same batch, so I don't have any kind of different colorations from it, which does take it a little bit of extra time in the planning stages to make sure I've got all the funds to get all the material. And I always make sure I put a note in my order saying, you know, I need to make sure, because I have ordered bigger orders before, and they have mixed up batches in certain colors, but whenever I'm doing, those didn't matter because I wasn't doing an inlay. So whenever I do an inlay, I always make sure I put a little comment in there saying this is for an inlay, like all my same colors from the same batch, to make sure everything matches up. And they they don't say anything back, but you can always tell when they run a different batch, the packaging's always a little bit different between batches, depending on how long it took them between their batches. You know, sometimes I'm sure it takes a year to run through some of their colors. So I remember what one was actually one I was doing a while back that I didn't verify, but I had actually I didn't say anything in it that it was for an inlay, but I was actually ordering double the colored rings that I needed. So I actually had just enough of the same batches of the red that I actually ordered that worked out fine. So that was nice. And I mean, it could have been a problem because the reds were definitely a little bit different between those two batches. And I was like, well, I don't want to mix those, and so I started calculating using math. It was day math, so it worked out better. Night math never works out for me for some reason. Sun's got to be out and math works fine. Sun goes away and math and me don't get along. Don't know why, but it's been like that for as long as I can remember. But I hope you're having a good night, John. Good to see you. It'll be nice when this comes together and finally done. I've actually got all my rings for my next inlay in and all that, so it's ready to go whenever I get done with this. So that's kind of nice. Finally got in. Well, I'm still waiting on 2 colors for one of the inlays, and I'll order those once they get them in stock. My biggest problem is hoping they don't run out of another color in the meantime. Making my shirt wearable, just weaving, jamming the music. Sweet. Good, good. I did see you were talking about seaming up the sides today, I think it was. That was today. I don't know, I haven't had a whole lot of time on Facebook today. I've just seen quick pictures as I scrolled to make sure I didn't have any messages I needed to reply to or anything. So most of the other time was playing Tetris in our other half of the basement. And by Tetris and there, meaning moving stuff around and fitting it into places so I could move certain things, certain areas. Kind of like I did over here in my main work area. I didn't plan on doing it in that area, but every time I kept going over there to do some stuff, it's like, oh man, it'd be so much easier if this was there and that was this. And during waiting for my pickup at the boy at school, some days it's 35-minute wait. Yeah, I never had to do that. We had a few pickups here and there, and that's when I started going, nope, not doing this anymore. Lines were insane. I was like, you guys are just riding the bus home. If I'm going to pick you up from school, I'll come get you out early. Because I'm not waiting in those long lines. I don't know, how many students and everything are in your big old lines, but I mean, I could get stuck in there. You get there early so you can kind of be up in the front, but people get there an hour early, easily. Start lining up, and I finally just told the kids, like, no, if you got to get out, we got to pick you up for a reason. I'll be calling, and I'll go park on the other side of the parking lot, and we'll go in and pick you up, because I'm not waiting in that line ever again. Don't trust traffic for the 6-year-old across the street. Well, yeah, if they're a walker, I could understand that. Our kids were all bus riders, so that wasn't necessarily a big thing. Walking would have definitely been a different story. Now, granted, where the school is and everything for the grade school and middle school probably wouldn't have been that big of a thing, especially if I lived up over by it, but yeah, I guess if I had a 6-year-old and walking, that would definitely be a totally different story. I remember walking as a kid, but we didn't start walking until I was in middle school, 6th, 7th grade, when we moved and got close to the school, or we could actually ride the bus, but it was, we were like literally 100 or 200 feet away from where we'd be walkers anyway, but they considered us bus riders, and I don't think we ever rode the bus because all our friends were within walking distance anyway to the school, so we ended up just going with, following them around and all riding our bikes to school. So, what do I need here? 10, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, one more. But, yeah. Plus, and that was during, in our time, they were saying that I had to walk to school up hills both ways. Literally, though, we did, because we lived in such a hilly area. You had this big old hill that we'd ended up going through the big open fields to get through to our school, because it was so much quicker than taking the streets. And we literally had to go up this big old giant hill, down a little bit, back up another big giant hill, down to the school. So we literally had to walk hills both ways. A few more years and he will be taking the bus. Not there yet. Top of a busy hill with a yield, not a stop sign, so not ready for that. Yeah, so it's more aware. For sure. I can understand that. I mean, back when we were walking even then, though, I mean, it was a little bit of a distance, but it was all back streets and stuff to get there. Actually, the house we lived in lived on top of a hill. That was a 2-lane road before my parents had bought the house. They called it Dead Man's Hill because there had been several accidents. There was no stop signs or anything there, but it was like I said, it was a hilly area. And they kind of came through, and once they widened the road, they flattened it out, though. They dropped down this hill that easily went up probably I'd say a good 100 feet, and just cut through this big old hill where this road used to go up over it, and just kind of cut through the middle of it and flattened out the road. So basically it was flat and then actually started going down normal at one point. So if I would have had kids that would have had to cross that, that would have been a different story too. But luckily now all mine are out, all mine are driving. Don't have to worry about that anymore, which is kind of nice. I mean, I miss them being kids and everything, but I'm also glad they're now adults. Make their own decisions now. I don't have to keep making them for them. I already had a hard enough time making my own decisions. Is that gonna be right? That just seems off for some reason, but let me check. No, I guess that's correct. I shouldn't second guess myself whenever I double check and triple check this when I was making the design for it. But I'm actually hoping to finish this up. Probably won't be done by next Thursday, but before next Sunday. I might do a stream next Saturday and show it off, because I do want to get it done before the Super Bowl. Should be able to, even though the Chiefs aren't going, but, you know, that's all good. I mean, I still love my Chiefs, so. Kind of sucks I didn't go, but I'll be watching it no matter who plays anyway, so. I do want to finish it up before the Super Bowl so I can get started on the next inlay. So, I will be getting in some time on this over this next week for sure. If I have run into any other problems like I did this past week, I'm just going to put those problems off. I should have waited on doing the video, converting all my video this past weekend. But once I loaded it up and had it going, it was more just letting it do its thing. It was like, man, I don't want to stop it. It's just going and cruising, but that's why I was finally like, yeah, alright, yeah. Any more problems that arise, I'm going to just hold off so I can get this done. I've been wanting to get this done forever. That's why we only add the winning years, not every year. Yeah, I mean, we still had a decent season overall. We didn't look as good as we had in the past. Our defense sucks. Got good players, but I don't know. Not digging the way they keep calling it. And yeah, all season. This goes for every game in the NFL that I had watched. Their officiating has just sucked here recently. Last few years, it's gotten worse and worse. It's like they're afraid to make calls because they might get overturned. Or they'll make calls that, you know, aren't there. I don't know. Officiating this year's just sucked. Last year was sucky too, but even year we won the Super Bowl. You know, got the Pro Bowl game to get to watch it, and then get to watch Super Bowl, and then football's off for a while. Be kind of a bummer. I mean, I'll watch some other things here and there, but football's my main thing, so I'll watch some basketball. I'll watch some baseball. I guess the next thing would be more into racing. I like to watch them in NASCARs and Formula Ones and all those, whatever's on. If I can watch it and find it, that's what I'll watch. Alright, I'll go some right. Ah, almost made a disastrous mess. Yeah, I guess I'll get more of these since we'll be coming back through it. Yeah, at the end of the stream, we'll lay this thing back out again. Thought about doing it before the stream, but I was like, yeah, I was kind of just getting her going, so I was like, yeah, if I do that, that's always a little time consuming to get it back into place. So we'll do it at the end, show where we're at. We're about finishing up the I. Here's the, you know, we'll have a little gap, and then the H will actually start up here before we finish off the bottom of the I, since it's all italicized. Quick looks around, make sure it's going. A little yellow. Hopefully I'm not getting any drops. I'm always worried about that here since I've changed everything over. It's like some days it works great, other times it doesn't. Luckily, with all the snow that ended up going just south of us, still in the city, but literally we drive down the road about 6 miles. They got about 3 more inches than we did up here. It's so weird. Which I guess I don't mind too much, other than I was prepared for a lot of snow. I was actually hoping for it. It's not like I like it, but, you know, it's like I hate the nuisance snow. 1 to 2, 3 inches, that's more of a nuisance. It's like you can, nothing gets postponed, everything's still going, just takes longer, and, you know, it's like, give me 7 or more inches, so you're stuck. You just have to wait a day or two. That's the kind of snow I'd rather have, and that's what we were looking forward to. And then we didn't end up getting it, and I was like, man, that's a bummer. Woke up going, alright, when we look outside, we're gonna have at least 5 inches by now with some more snow. And nope, it wasn't snowing at all. We had like barely over an inch, and I was like, really? And then it's still snowing. Literally 20 miles south of us they're still getting snow, and the sun's breaking on the cloud, breaking through the clouds up by us here. It's like, we shovel the driveway and the sidewalk and everything, and to the steps and front door, and it's all dry now. I mean, what little bit was there, the sun took care of it. It's already dried up, even though we haven't broke over 20 yet. I think our high today was like 17. Which I don't necessarily mind the cold per se. I just don't like cold for extended periods again. We're supposed to get back to our normal 20s to 30s here by Saturday, I think. Tonight's supposed to be another cold one. Woke up this morning and it was like 8 degrees with a -8 wind chill. Alright, that row's done. Row 113. On to 114. And we probably will only be streaming for an hour tonight. Minimum of that hour. It kind of depends on where we fall here. And only because, like I said, I'm still trying to get this house caught back up to where we need to be. It's just taking forever. I don't know what it is about January and so far February. It's just everything is taking twice as long. I just do not get it, do not understand it. Things that I've done 100,000 times, I know how long these things take, but it's just, everything's been doubled this year. The 2022, the 2-2s, doubling everything on me. I'm done with it. I'm almost ready for 2023 just to be here already. Because I'm like, boy, if this just continues like this, I'm going to be done with 2022 soon. Like I said, nothing super bad. I mean, we had the cat issue and all that caused the week of issues, problems, but turned out okay. She actually went and had her blood test done again on Monday. Everything came back perfectly normal. After the vet said she had no chance, I'm like, and now she's perfectly fine. Well, we need to check her blood work again because she's actually going to go have some dental surgery here next week or so. She's got one tooth that needs to come out, I guess, so we need to get her back into good health before she gets put under to go through that procedure. That's not going to be fun, I'm sure. Never had a cat that needed a tooth removed before, so I don't know necessarily what to expect with that. How she'll be after that fact. But she's doing good now, but again, that was just, for 3 days, taking her to the ER vet at night and back to our normal vet during the day. Being our normal vet said she had no chance of making it, and the ER vets were like, we don't know exactly what's wrong, but we can be a little aggressive, and so they did some things that our normal vet wouldn't do, and she ended up pulling through. In a way, she probably hates being back, because I won't let her go back outside now. And she's got kind of locked into an area, but I think she enjoys it overall, because I just get to spend more time with her. So I think she does like that. A few more here. Plus, I can see what she's doing a little more often too. And she's been a little cuddle bug going to bed at night here lately. But she's always wanted her attention. Yeah, if anybody's around, if you're watching, well, John will probably be over there anyway, but starting at 9 o'clock my time, Central Time, over at Mailworks. He'll have his stream going. I think he's going to be on tonight. He's been on the last couple nights. Missed it night before last, but I was able to finally catch it last night. I just needed some time to finally chill, and I was like, alright, let's get in here and just watch this. Watch his stream, so go over there and check it out. Hopefully soon Joshua Brackenmail will start streaming again. Kind of miss having his on occasion. His were more mid-afternoon my time, so... But, and hopefully this next week, I'm actually hoping for Wednesday this next week to kind of do a quick video on my new setup. Just where I've got kind of everything going, and because now, like I said, I can use my welder a lot easier. I can just slide it on over, no biggie. Anodizer, same setup, it's just right there, so I don't have to. Before, the anodizer was always boxed up and I had to unbox everything, get everything ready. Now it's just all ready to go. Got the new fiber laser all set up and been actually playing with it on my laser days, Tuesdays and Fridays, and I think I've got a pretty good handle on it now, and have actually done some things with it. A few things I've already sold with it, so I was like, hey guys, I finally got this, and I'm like, hey, I want this. Okay, let's try it. And, you know, trial error, but I'm definitely getting better with it, and I'm hoping tomorrow I'll actually get a little bit of video done with it. I'm going to etch up some scales, and oh man, I put a... No, that was right. That was right. I was like, did I screw up again? Yeah, so now I need... Okay, yeah. Let's see here. 10. So I need 7 more. 2, 4, 6, 7. So yeah, it's coming along nicely. I wanted to do up some normal anodized scales, because I do plan on starting to add some scales to my supplies list on my webpage for sale. But I'm also going to do some etching on some titanium scales. I've got some that I've pre-anodized up already, and I'm going to go through and do some laser etching to them, and then anodize them again and color in where I just lasered. I'm hoping it's going to work. Again, it's going to be my first time trying that, so it'll be a little interesting to see, but hoping it'll come out okay. If not, you know, it's still a learning process, but so far everything's been coming out pretty good. Did some business cards on aluminum cardstock that came out really awesome, and oh boy, I'll tell you what, so much faster than trying to use my CO2 laser. And the CO2 laser did its job. There were some things that would always, you know, every batch of red I always had to try different settings to finally lock it in with the batch of scales reds that I had. But the fiber laser just looks at it and goes, okie dokie, no problem, let's do it. And like I said, probably 10 times faster than what the CO2 laser would do. So that's definitely a nice little thing. I'm going to try to get a thing going on the website where you can upload pictures, and I can, since everything will be so much easier and everything, where I could do custom laser scales, tags, and whatnot, where you just upload your picture, I'll be able to grab it and do my thing. Okay, so 11, let me just check that, because again, I think it feel like I'm off, but 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, okay, I guess I'm not. Keep double checking myself. I guess it's good to double check, but just feels wrong. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. So yeah, it's actually really nice. I'm looking for some other metal because this not only etches, it can cut into metal, which is nice. You know, I can actually do etching on stainless steel tags now, and tags and scales, whatever, in stainless steel, and still be able to mark them. Wasn't able to do that before without using a coating, and then again it was a coating. This will actually dig into the metal and remove metal, so kind of nice. Looking forward to using it more and more and getting more stuff done out. Now I just need more of a supplies for it. I got a bunch of acrylics and woods and stuff like that for the CO2 and fiber lasers. Don't have a lot of materials for the fiber laser yet. Did I say fiber laser? I meant to say the I got the CO2 and the diode laser. That's what I've been using for the last many years, but now we got the fiber laser. So the next step on it is to also test doing tumblers. If tumblers, I can get tumblers going on it, it would be a lot faster than using my CO2, because I use a combination of my CO2 and my diode laser. They work good and do the job, but if they could do it faster, if I can get them done faster on the fiber laser, that'd be good. I got a rotary with it, so that'll be the next thing. What DPI can you do with it? Laser etch 16. You've read my mind. I actually have some out that I'm testing now. I can get down pretty small and you still do very. Basically, I don't know if you've ever seen the rings that the Ring Lord used to have. I don't know if they still have them or not. It was like your astrological signs on a square ring. I have tested in putting my name on there, the Booga box, on one side and website on the other, and it's still easily legible, readable, and I plan on using those in some of my bigger works, you know, as a little tag, but part of the work. So next step is I should be able to do it on stainless steel also. Haven't tested them on any square stainless yet because I don't have any 16 gauge square stainless. All I've got, and I should be able to do it on round too. I just haven't tested it on round yet. I don't know what my DPI would be, but I mean, everything I normally put through my programs, I always set it up for 300 to 600, and even at 300, I had no problem reading it how small it was, because they come out pretty small. 18 red. Should finish it. I guess I don't need to count these. But that's one of the other things I hope to show off next Wednesday. Like I said, I'm going to try to put together a couple quick videos of things that I can just kind of throw up in the stream to show of everything. Newer setups, and then show a little bit of the laser doing its new thing and all that. And I've already done, like I said, some aluminum scales. I've done a bunch of aluminum-sized cards, doing different testings on powers and all that, and some pictures so I can get the full going of that. Now I just got to go out and find me some hidden sectors. My thought, since I saw MIG wire embossed with numbers, it's been a goal to get logo rings. Yeah, that's what I was exactly thinking too. It's like, you know, just something. I mean, I normally, when I do a piece like this, an inlay, for the past several years, I'd actually just use the aluminum business cards and laser etch the details and everything on it, and I'll put it on a little clip and I'll hang it on the bottom, which is still cool, but I wanted to have it in my pieces. I was like, I want just a little something that, you know, you probably wouldn't notice unless you're told or you're really looking at it. And I was like, you know, that's how TRL did their little square ringed astrological sign ones, and so that's why I started putting the Booga box in my font and logo look on one side. And like I said, it's small, but you can still see it. It does a pretty good job of it. No, I don't have them sitting right there, do I? Where did I put them? Oh, I bet they'll put them back in that box. Because I've done probably 5 of them in different colors right now just to test. And I don't know if I could actually... My camera's pretty decent, but I don't know if the camera would pick it up all that well for a video. Maybe I can take a few pictures of it and put it in the video that will show next Wednesday. Maybe that's what I should do. Biggest thing is definitely getting the setup and everything to make sure everything's going to be... Being so small, it's definitely harder to get your gauge on size and make sure you get everything centered right. Because I had a few that, because you put them under there and it, you know, just half of a tenth of a millimeter off when there's something so thin, I was only getting part of it on, and the other part was running off the side. So that's the next thing, is to make up some jigs. Probably going to use the CO2 laser and do some acrylic jigs that can hold rings, scales, all that, and it'll slide into lock stops that are already on the bed of the laser, and basically just load up the holes, and then I can tell, you know, in the program I'll have a template set up. That's what I kind of do with the CO2 laser anyway. I use templates, and I can just put the piece, you know, my holder pieces into it, and it locks into a place that I've designated, and then I can just load up. That's another bad one. Load up the supplies needed, be it scales or tags, or because I got templates and stuff for basically all dog tags, all the heart tags, round tags in multiple sizes, scales in multiple sizes. Yeah, a location jig. Yeah. Well, it makes it easier. I've noticed, you know, when I first started using the CO2 laser, doing it, I just put them in there, and it'd take me forever to get everything lined up, and I started realizing I'll just put something in here, and I've got lock stops on the front and back where I can just push my little jig up into it. It's already got everything lasered out, and I can just throw in scales or round rings or something. 0, 0 is always in the same place, so then I use the template on the computer to put in the graphics. It's got all the same layout, and I just remove the outside edging. Once I put in my graphics, I just remove the outsides and let it go. Much quicker and easier. Now I had to, through the years, I've made up 3 different jigs because I kind of changed up how I do things, or I'm using a different program. Make sure run program, use that. Used to do that with an Epilogue laser for a day job. Sweet. I've heard those are pretty good lasers. I never tried one. They've just always been a little too far out of the price range. Now, granted, all my CO2s and stuff, I've done a lot of upgrading per se. I mean, they're not upgrades. Well, some of them you buy different mirrors and different mirror mounts and all that. But I put a lot of extra time into my lasers to have more, you know, I use my 3D printers to print up a lot of jigs and extras for my CO2 laser and my diode laser, for that matter. Okay, 2 whites. I don't have, my next plan is for my diode laser to build a box for it. Right now it's still freestanding, but I want to have a box made where it's got a lid I can close on it. More than being open. And then, because I don't have any jigs for it yet, just because I don't have any, it's never had a permanent place. But that's actually one of the things I plan on doing here once the weather gets nice. I've got my designs all drawn out for it, what I want to do and all that, but I need to get out there, get the wood cut. Okay, make sure I'm in the right area. I was working for the military that bought it. No one knew how to run it. Boss waved the manual at me and was making parts and set up to laser etch parts 2 days a week for a month. Single laser. But the filter unit costs more than the laser to set up. Oh yeah. That would have been cool though. I like playing around with that kind of stuff, and yeah, you know, that's one of the other things. I've got a little CNC, 3D printer, 2 by 4 inch, 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 2 by 4 lathe type thing. I mean, I think they run about $150, but they're not very big. They don't use a big, powerful motor. I built the thing up. I played around with some wood. It does a pretty decent job, but I've never really incorporated it in anything else. I packed it up, actually. Need to pull it back out and work with it, because now I've seen a lot of extra mods you can do to it that makes them better than, you know, what they were. But I always like learning that kind of stuff. In a way, I mean, it would be nice if every laser I currently now have uses different software. I've got two different diode lasers, and both of them use two different softwares. The CO2 laser uses different software. I actually am working with another one. There's another software that it's been out for a while, but I never tried it because the original software sucked. So then I started using what was the name of that? Meerkat 40 is the one I'm getting ready to try to use. And then there's EasyCAD for the fiber laser. And I'm actually using Nightburn for the one diode laser, and then the other diode laser I got doesn't have it's got a custom board in it that I plan on replacing at some point. It had a fringe with 16 different filters inside for full air system spec filtering. Well, that would have been kind of nice in a way. I'm sure that can get expensive. I mean, I've got my exhaust and everything. I just kind of exhaust it to the outside. So I've got my things that I run to keep it from smelling inside. You can get a little smelly outside, but it depends on what you're doing. Acrylic and wood. Actually, wood's not too bad because it just smells like somebody's having a fire, burning firewood up when I'm laser etching wood. Acrylic, it smells a little plasticky at times, but normally I'm doing light etching when it comes to doing the acrylic. So when I go to cut out the pieces, it's probably the worst time, but it does it fairly quickly, so it's not super bad. Corral draw, that's what the epilogue uses. Not crossing is desired. Yeah, I use Corral Draw for most of my drawing purposes to do my programs. That's what the CO2 came with, and it had a laser plug-in to be able to send the information over. But the way it worked was just a pain in the butt to get it to go over to it. Now, I loved Draw itself. I mean, that I had no problem with. I knew Draw. I've used Draw for many years. But the biggest thing was the getting it over to the laser to go, do its lasering. So then I wish I could remember the name of what I'm currently using. I know it's right on the tip of my tongue. But with doing that too, I didn't have to use the dongle that came with the stupid laser. I mean, I still got it, but the other program actually gave me more options. With Corral Draw, I couldn't do anything with a rotary. And so that's why I started going the other route. And so I'll design everything in Draw, then just save it as a SVG, and then I can pull it into these other programs and do most of what I need. Government spec can't allow fumes of any kind into the air unfiltered or huge fines. Yeah, I can see why and understand it. I mean, I would like to have, there are some scrubbers you can add to these units that help with all that, but I don't do it enough that, makes me worry. If I was doing lasering every day, it'd be a totally different story. I laser 2 times a week, and sometimes I spend more time in designing laser stuff than actually using the laser. I could spend, 3 or 4 hours on laser days just working with graphics, so. Well, like I said, I don't do it enough. If I did it every day, it'd probably be a different story. I'd probably want to have a little something different if I'm lasering for hours a day. Now, there's always times when I'm doing the band fundraiser that I do use it more often, but powder coating doesn't put off a whole lot of fumes. I mean, it's not a great smell, but it's not a bad smell. And it's fairly light because you're going fairly fast to do it, and you're just taking off quick bits of powder coating, so it's pretty simple, easy. Don't have to, you know. Like I said, I get more of a smell and stuff out of my acrylics when I'm doing cutting of acrylics, because those can really get in there and take a while. So that's the next thing I'm going to do, is actually work up another external extraction unit to work more with my fiber laser. I'm kind of got a jerry-rigged kind of thing going right now that's doing the job, but I've got all the parts to build a better unit for helping extract that stuff. Though, I mean, when it comes to the metal, there's not a ton of extracting. Did I put that on the right side, dang it? Comes up through. Yeah, okay. Again, double check, make sure. But I'm having fun with it. I threw on a scrap piece of stainless that I had from when I set up my anodizer, and I typed in the Booga box on it with no special font or anything, just so I could see how deep I could go, how quickly I could go on cutting out the metal, and did a pretty good job fairly quickly. I'm actually trying to find some coins, some brass and copper and stainless steel coin blanks that I can use and do some creating on those. I guess a lot of people use these fiber lasers to engrave their guns and whatnot. I don't think I'd ever go that far into doing things like that, because sometimes those can take a while, I guess. But I mean, who knows? Once I get further into playing with it and learning it, maybe things will change. You know, I mostly wanted to get it so I could do some actual engraving on stainless steel stuff and some titanium and niobium stuff. So that was my main purpose on getting it, and I think it's going to do a great job for what I planned on doing, using it with. The dust created by laser cutting, that intense heat involved in the process creates particle. The submicron size, the smaller the particulate, the easier it is to be inhaled and absorbed into the blood. Yeah, I'm always looking. There's all kinds of certain things that I won't use mine on, just because the fumes that come off of it, I'm just like, could be, some of them are toxic, some of them are, iffy. Finding out the information, I will tell you, that's one of the harder things I've been trying to find out when it comes to that. You can find out all kinds of how to use them, but when it comes to what kind of materials you should laser, what you shouldn't laser, there's a few places that have things that you should not ever do this, should not ever do that. Okay, I get that, but I want a little more information out there, and that's actually harder to find deep in analysis on that. But I had the, doing wood, when I'm laser etching wood, I kind of have fun doing that just because I like the smell of burning wood. I know it sounds a little weird, but I love having fire pits, going camping and having the firewood burn. That's why I like smoking meat out there in the grill. I like the smell of wood. Yeah, never do PVC. Yeah, that was one of the first things I learned. I've been trying to find out about what they make mirrored glass. What's their stuff that they use to make up the mirror? Because some people I've read, no problem. The fumes aren't toxic from doing laser etched mirrors and taking off the coating off the backside, and some say it's bad for you. I've only done one, and the smell was awful. Granted, it was still, it was all going outside, but I just did not care for it, and so I wanted to find out more information on it. I ended up giving up looking for it and just haven't done any other mirror stuff yet, other than, I guess I have done mirror, but I'm only doing the front and just doing the glass part, not using their coating off the back. First one I did a Chiefs logo from the back and then painted it, and it came out really good, but, oh man, it was a horrid smell. And even with the extraction unit, taking it outside, it was still just, acrylics, you might get a little whiff here and again going, I'm still a little plastic, but that, ooh, yeah. It bonds with a laser eye and gums up the eye permanently with PVC. Yeah, well, I just heard the off gases from it is very toxic, I guess. I guess, you know, just as bad as heating up. What did the not stainless steel, but just carbon steel when you're doing, you know, fence line stuff and making chainmail. It's right there on the tip of my tongue. So we're almost done with this line. I only got, well, one more line will finish up my hash marks for this side. Then I won't have to worry about any hash marks to get to the side line. Mirrors want to make them yourself. Laser glass apply, silver layer. Yeah, I actually never did think about doing that. Which you probably could do fairly easy. Because I've done glass. I actually have a bunch of... I got glass mugs in 12 ounce and 24 ounce sizes that I do a lot for people that have their own little bars in their homes. People, you know, they kind of name their little bar thing, and so they have a little... one of them had a wooden plaque that had a design they liked, so we kind of recreated that and put it on some of those glass mugs so you can freeze them and use them in his little home bar. Done that a couple times, and then other things. Like I said, it's like everything else I do. If somebody sends a graphic going, "Hey, can we put this on this?" I'm like, "Okay, sure, let's do it." That's what I do. I've got, I don't know, I've probably got 4 or 5 cases of each size of the glass mugs that I've been doing. Need to advertise them more, but you know, I've been doing pretty good with those. Just word of mouth for the most part. I do have them listed in my branded site for the racing team, but alright, like I said, several people come out from outside of that going, "Hey, I've seen these, can you put this on it?" So, come on, flip over. Alright, let me go ahead and mark that line off. That was row 114, so now we're starting on 115, going backwards. Sure, right way. I have my own home bar, so I get it, brew mead and wine from time to time, beer. Yeah, you know, that's what the two that I've done. I think I did, what was it? I did 12 of them for one and 8 for another, and then a lot of the others are normally just 2 packs. They just want them for, you know, his and her style things. I'm sitting over here looking at the camera I've set up that I haven't plugged in when I'm talking to you. I guess that's a good thing, but I guess I'll just get some. Yeah, I'm not a big drinker, so I don't have any kind of bar thing. I'm trying to even think the last time I had alcohol was probably 5-6 years ago now. When it was a wife anniversary, I grabbed a 4-pack of Mike's Hard Lemonade. If you want to call that drinking, that's about all I had. I'm trying to think before that. It was probably a couple years before that. Don't drink very often. But I actually do have one made up of the Booga box. Says the Booga box, because anything I test, I test them in three logos I'll use to test any new product to see if I'm going to like it or whatnot. It's either going to be the Booga box, or it's going to be the Chiefs, or it's going to be Tonka bands with the band that I help out. So it's normally those 3 things I'll end up putting on stuff. And I have to have those in a way just because nobody's going to want to buy the Booga box stuff. At least I don't think so. I mean, maybe somebody would. I don't know. Chiefs, if it comes out well, you know, I could turn around and kind of sell it. But then there are certain items like knives and, you know, beer mugs I don't want to make with Tonka bands on it when it's a high school. So certain things I try to mix up and make sure I have a logo that it, you know. So it's normally those 3 things I'll play with any new design, new concept, or anything like that. As I'm trying to think, I've had several lights this year. I had a couple custom LED lights I gotten done. Then I had, well, all of them are pretty much custom, but some of these were things I'd never heard of before. I'm like, huh? Okay, well, send me graphics. We'll work with what you got, because I don't know what you're talking about here. And then there's other things, I guess I should call them custom, because I still had to design them up. But I did some Mandalorian stuff. Actually did Tampa Bay and a Denver's logo on a couple LED lights. So it's more green. It's more green. Yeah, I had quite a few of those. Got some tumblers, custom tumblers. I've definitely had more tumblers this year than I've had any year. But I've also expanded the tumblers. I got, skinny, smaller ones. And I actually just got in here recently some stainless steel. I guess I do have a little bit of supplies. I wanted some stainless steel so I can use the fiber laser and do some stainless steel tumblers that way. So I've gotten, I actually got some hip flasks, some skinny tumblers, larger tumblers. I got some mason jar style tumblers, all in stainless, so that I can put them through the fiber laser. UC Groku mailed shirt. Wednesday they showed it on the end of the episode. No, I did not. I normally catch those in bigger groups. I actually haven't watched any of the new stuff. I'm kind of waiting for it all just to be there and ready to go, because I'd rather binge it than, if I try to catch them when they're on, I'll end up missing, then I'll go for a while. So I like to kind of put them all together and just binge them all at the same time. Now, did anybody? No, I don't think that was what. Well, maybe it was. Was that did somebody post a picture of that on one of the Facebook mail pages? Is that what I was seeing, the little shirt? Is that who that was for? I don't know. I seen something. I didn't go into details and read it. I just seen it through when I was scrolling real quick. Because, like I said, the past several days I've been Facebook has been more just making sure I don't have any messages from customers or friends, family, etc. The rest of the time I really haven't spent a whole lot of time on there. So I'm not sure what that one was related to. That's the chainmail, been posted 2 or 3 times now. Yeah. Okay, that's what must have been what I was seeing then. Like I said, I didn't read any of the details on it, just kind of go past it and seen it going, hey, cool, and just kind of scrolled on. Oh, excuse me. Me burp. Where are we at anyway? I haven't even looked at time in a while. I've just been chattering along. Oh, we're almost at an hour, 57 minutes, so we're getting close. 22 gauge, 5/32 welded. Yeah, I bet that took a little bit of time then, if that's the same picture I'm thinking of. But anything welded is always going to take longer. But worth it in the long run. Actually need to get a hold of Sean over there at Mailworks. I've got a couple of his clasps that I wanted to put his logo on with the new fiber laser, and I keep forgetting to ask him about it. So just more nice Canon large spread viewing of mail. Yeah, can never get it too much mail, right? So actually I'm just going to go ahead and put in these 3 white ones, then I'm going to go ahead and move my stuff here so we can kind of stretch this out a bit. Since we'll be at an hour, so more folks will want mail in the hopes that the mouse being the product placement world influences. Yeah, more people, better. I know a lot of people, they like the mail, they like the look. Some people get into it and they're like, oh my, this is much more intense than I thought, so they end up getting out of mail. I've probably talked to more people that have done mail and gotten out of it than in person anyway. Whenever I'm doing events, I get a lot of people, they'll show something that they've made that they're wearing, but they were like, I could only do this. I was done with it after that. And I talked to a lot of, I'll run into a few occasional people that have been doing it for a while and still enjoy it. But alrighty, let's see here. Let's go ahead and grab these up. Ooh, oh, that would have sucked. I about dropped those. I wouldn't want to clean that mess up. So, go ahead and get us a quick stretch here. Hopefully most of it will be in screen. It'll be so much better when I can get gravity doing its job to get this to stretch out nicer. This is the top side up over on here. Working our way. This is the bottom side. So we're just past halfway, so we're going to be twice as long as this. Like I said, it's supposed to be almost 48 inches. Am I in screen? Yeah, okay. So that's where we're at. Like I said, halfway point was right here, which was just as we finished up the E, top of the I. So we're getting along. H will be the biggest letter and probably the longest time to do, but I'm hoping I'll have it done by Saturday, to be honest with you. So yeah. Oh, real quick, I want to put in Mailworks link here. In case you're watching later. I guess, John, you don't need to know the link. You know where Mailworks is. Okay, there we go. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and start closing it up for night. This is where we're at. This is what we're going for. So we're right in this part, so I got this much more to go. And like I said, hopefully by the weekend I'll have up to here at least done. I want to get this H done. Once I can get that C completed, then I've still got a good chunk to go, but it'll feel more accomplished once I can actually read out the cheese. Impressive work as always, sir. Well, thank you, John. I enjoy it. I hope you enjoy hanging out with me at times and farting around talking. It's always good to have somebody join in. So, but yeah, today is Thursday, so we'll be back on Monday night, same time. We'll be working on our sunburst wall hanging on Monday. So, hope you all have a great weekend. If you get a chance, you can check out Mailworks, check some of his old streams, or a live stream if he streams tonight. I want to thank again John for joining us tonight. And whomever else might have joined, I've seen a couple people on YouTube pop in and out. So if you're watching later, always make a comment, go in, share us, all that good stuff, give us a like, and all that good stuff. So y'all have a great weekend, and we'll be back on Monday night. Y'all take it easy. Peace.